to Holly's Racing Fantasy. This is your hotspot for weekly NASCAR Cup Series race recaps, latest news, and of course, fantasy picks for the upcoming race. And now, here's your host and the voice of Holly's Racing Fantasy.
Here I am. It's not quite 7 o'clock in the big city yet, so I'm glad. It's hard to record late at night. I get tired late at night. It's 7 o'clock. I'm supposed to be in bed by now. But it is. I'm older than I am physically, mentally. And then therefore, this is by 7 o'clock at night, I'm usually ready to hit the couch and watch whatever sporting event is on and relax. But here I am recording for my lovely, lovely watchers and listeners. And we are going to start off with the fact that there was no shortage of gas at this ethanol-based corn race because Ryan Blaney actually won the Cup Series race, the first inaugural Cup Series race in Iowa. So that was nice. I mean, the guy led, hang on, I'm getting used to this mouse here. The guy, 201 laps. Wow. Yeah, he was out there. You know who led 32 laps? Josh Berry. That's a pretty good day for him. He finished 7th. So as for me and my picks, William Byron came in 2nd, so yay for that. Christopher Bell came in 4th, so yay for that too. And Alex Bowman came in 8th. Brad came in 10th. So Ryan Blaney, William Byron, Chase Elliott, Christopher Bell, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. came in 5th. Joey Logano 6th, Josh Berry 7th, Alex Bowman 8th, Daniel Suarez 9th, and Brad Kozlowski was 10th. So it was very, and here is the funniest thing about Ryan Blaney's win is when it was another pit decision, he only took 2 tires. Other drivers took 4, he took 2, and somehow he ran up front on those 2 tires. And it was crazy. I mean, the 88 laps on the 2 tires. And here's the coolest thing about Ryan Blaney winning this week is he had 85 friends and he had 85 family members there. They were all in the stands and they were wearing matching T-shirts that said something. I can't remember what they said. Did I write it down? No, I didn't write it down because I'm smart like that. But his grandparents are from Iowa and his mother obviously grew up there, so that he has a bunch of family that still lives there. So they were all able to celebrate it, which is really, really cool because usually when something like that, that never happens. Like if you're like, wow, everybody's watching, then you're going to lose. Or, oh, this is the first time my dad's ever come to a race, and then you're going to lose. But this actually happened for Ryan Blaney. So that is really darned cool. 80, I don't know about y'all, which I know a lot of you out there do have large families, but I couldn't even name 85 family members that are still alive. And that's talking between my dad's side of the family, my mom's side of the family. I don't even know. And my husband's, even if I picked from my husband's side of the family, I don't know. I could not come up with 85 people that would actually do anything, get together and go anywhere. No matter what was going on. If I'm and the award of the year for NASCAR podcasts goes to Holly's Racing Fantasy. And I'm like, hey, everybody, I'm inviting all my family to go to the awards ceremony. They'd be like, yeah, we've got, we're tired, or we have to, wash the car, or, nobody would come. I don't know. Maybe 5 people would come. So funny. And I don't mean that in a bad way because I love all my family, but maybe it's just because we're all old, because Ryan Blaney's young. I don't know. So maybe his family members are young. I don't have very many cousins and stuff. So maybe that's it. Maybe it's mostly cousins. But either way, I'm going on and on and on about Ryan Blaney's family. He did a burnout, which he never does, because Dale Inman, a long time ago, I think Dale Inman gave him advice about not doing a burnout, something to the effect of the car treated you so well in bringing you to victory lane that you need to treat the car well in return. So he usually doesn't do a burnout, but he actually did one because he said it was just like it was so hard to win that he actually did it. So Byron came in second. I will say, congratulations to Ryan Blaney. So Josh Berry did put on a good show. Again, he's auditioning for his next ride. I don't know where he's going to end up, but he and Rodney Childers both want to go together. They're hoping to go somewhere together. So we'll see where that ends up being. It's just Stuart Haas closing is just such a bummer, man. Such a bummer because they were one of the big guns for so long. So I hope that everybody gets to go somewhere good. That's all I'm going to say about that. What else happened at Iowa? I'm just going to try to scroll through these notes here. Kyle Larson was doing really well. He was up front a lot in contending, but you'd think I would have written that down, what happened to him, but it just didn't. He did get a stage. He did win a stage. So that was a good thing, but him and Denny Hamlin got into it. And I don't think that was his fault. That was the one, I think Suarez hit Larson and Larson got into Denny. I had to try to reach back in the dream. And so that was pretty rough for both of them. Now he did get back on the track, but he was like 31 laps down. Or 36 maybe. But either way, Kyle Larson, boy, I can't ever count that guy out. So I'm going to say that is all that there is. And, maybe, I don't know, are they going to go to Iowa next year? I guess so. Maybe we'll find out. I think the 2025 schedule is out already, so I should look at that. But here's where we're going next. We're going to go to New Hampshire. But before I head off to New Hampshire, I'm going to talk about NASCAR news. So hold your horses. Hold your horsepower. I'll be right back. So Martin Truex Jr. is retiring. Remember last week when I recorded? Of course, he announced it the next day after I recorded my show. So yeah, he's retiring. Which, who's going to take his place? I don't know. He says he's retiring from full-time racing. So what does that mean? Does that mean you're going to pull a Eric Almirola? I don't know. Who knows? I'm surprised and I'm not surprised because I feel like he still could race. It's not like he's stinking out like a few of the other drivers who couldn't win a race to save their lives or finish well before they retired. But, who knows? I will say that Denny Hamlin offered Martin Truex Jr., he said that if just say the word, and if you want to race the Daytona 500 next year, he will find him a car for $23.11. So that's pretty cool. Because, Denny's Denny. He's not going to blow smoke up your rear end and, So good for him. Who's going to take over? Could be somebody from Stuart Haas. That would be Chase Briscoe, Noah Gragson, or Josh Berry, or even Ryan Preece. But the rumors are Chase Briscoe. But there's also a rumor about Eric Jones coming back to Gibbs. But I don't know. Is that possible? Do you think that he'd really bring him back after he kind of cut him loose like an old salmon, like an old floppy salmon, cut him loose a few years ago? I don't know. But maybe. Who knows? But then, or they could bring up an Xfinity driver. I think they've tossed around Austin Hill, Chandler Smith, and Corey Heim. I don't know. So it remains to be seen who will. That's the drama now. Oh, who's going to replace Martin Truex Jr.? That's going to be the drama for the rest of the season. Who's going to replace Truex, and where are the Stuart Haas guys going? And it's a drama, but it's kind of a sad drama. Other NASCAR news is Daniel Suarez was officially sworn in and received his certificate as a U.S. citizen in a ceremony this past Tuesday in Charlotte. So that's pretty cool. And his Trackhouse Racing, I think some of the, the president and some of the other folks from Trackhouse came. And the surprise guest was NASCAR President Steve Phelps came and actually handed him his certificate. So that's pretty cool. You know what else is kind of NASCAR newsy to me, which I think is really interesting, is Chase Elliott is now the points leader for this season, which is like kind of funny to me, but he is. Chase Elliott is the points leader right now, followed by Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, William Byron, and Martin Truex Jr. So that is pretty cool. He's, he only has one win, but he's been doing pretty well these last few weeks. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how he keeps going with that. I think that I'm going to, I'm trying to see if there's any other NASCAR news. Usually when John and I used to be on here, he'd say a few things while I'd be like, while I'm like perusing the news. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I got right now. Real quick before I move into Who You Like and Why, I just want to let everybody know that we met with John's surgeon a couple days ago, and he is scheduled for surgery to remove this tumor on July 1st. She wants to, move quick on it, get it out, because it's fairly large. So she wants to get it out and get him recovering. So I don't know if maybe he'll make an appearance next week, because that'll be his last week before the surgery. I don't know what this show is going to look like that week, the week of July 4th. It could just be a podcast venue, or it might just be go to my Facebook page and I'll give you the fantasy picks for the next race. Now, I know that the schedule is going to change a bit because of the Olympics. So let me see what I can find here. Okay, so June, yes, we have races every weekend. Now, come July, we have the 7th, the 14th, and the 21st, right? And the 21st is going to be the last race until August 11th. So there's a little bit of time off there. So before that, the 7th and the 14th, I don't know what I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'll let you know. I'll let you know next week if you don't see, because I definitely am really. I'll let you know next week more, but I don't foresee John. He'll be in the hospital for a few days. She said 3 to 5. She says at least 3 days, which would be the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Because I got to make sure that everything's okay. Because they're gonna have to take a little part of his stomach, not a big part, just a little bit to where this tumor has attached to the outside. They're gonna take a little bit of muscle, and they're gonna seal him up. And then they kind of have to let his stomach heal up, and they can't really let him leave until he's tolerating liquids and maybe some soft foods. So hopefully he'll heal up. It'd be fun if he can be home on July 4th. That would be great if they could send him home on the 4th of July. But we'll see. So again, say your prayers, keep them in your thoughts. And, we just want it to be, a clean break. She did say that this is definitely treatable and curable. So that's what we're hoping for. We're looking ahead one day at a time to get there, but yet looking ahead to a better recovery, a better health recovery. So again, I'll let you know next week how the July races are going to play out for this show. I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm definitely going to still put picks, but I might do it in a write-up on the Holly's Racing Fantasy Facebook page. I'll let you know. So without further ado, I am going to go to Who You Like and Why. Who do you like and why? Facebook, Timothy J. White likes Martin Truex Jr. I like that. YouTube, Rose likes Brad Keselowski because he's been pushing for the win all season. He came in 5th here last year. And Scott Corliss is going to go with Chase Elliott because his stats are pretty good here and he's running pretty good in general. Rose also thinks that maybe, Larson is a good follow-up. And Scott also thinks that, keep an eye on Bell and Kozlowski as well. Bell, Logano, and Kozlowski. Here's another thing I wanted to say. Scott made a comment about, what Justin Haley is suddenly stepping up. And that I agree with that. I forgot to write this down. Justin Haley made a comment this week because people were saying that maybe he would take over for Martin Truex Jr. And he said, no, he's going to stay with Rick Ware Racing because they took a chance on him. And he said he wouldn't even have a job right now if it were not for RWR. So count him out for taking over. So I'm going to now move on to my own picks and let you know what I think. I'm so glad it's New Hampshire this week because honestly, New Hampshire was pretty easy for me to pick. It's really, it's the USA Today 301 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Picks coming up.
While fantasy sports betting can be fun, gambling can be a serious issue. If you or someone you know has a gambling addiction and wants help, call or text the National Problem Gambling Hotline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER. Standard text and data rates do apply. You can also visit them online at ncpgambling.org.
Okay, the race in New Hampshire is at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which is a little earlier. We've been running 3:30, so that's pretty cool. USA Today 301 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And I am picking my first pick as Denny Hamlin. Hear me out. He's had some lousy breaks recently, but I think that he and Chris Gabehart are going to bring it together and get that lobster on Sunday, which I love to see him get all creeped out by the lobster. But he's won here 3 times, and he's got 11 top 5s, and he's got 19 top 10s. And you know what? He's a decent pick. Joey Logano. Now, he's got his own lobster twice at this track, and he had a decent run last week. And, he's no slouch here in New Hampshire. He's got 9 top 5s and 14 top 10s, and he needs a win to get into the top 16. He's outside of the playoffs right now, so this would be a great place for him to get that win. And you know what? And then my third brilliant is Martin Truex Jr. And I say, will I kick myself for giving this guy another? No, I'm not going to kick myself because you know what? Martin Truex Jr. has led over 1,170 laps here, which is the most of any active driver, even over Kyle Busch, who's also led a lot of laps. And he won this last July. And you know what? He may have had a couple bad breaks here and there, but I think he's going to have a really good run this week. Moving on to bolds, Brad Keselowski. Because you know what? He is running the heck out of that car, and this week will be no exception. He has finished top 10, except for one race, top 10 in New Hampshire at this track since 2016. So what's that, 8 years? So I think you can count on a solid day for him. He's got 2 wins, 16 top 10s, what the heck. I like where Christopher Bell is heading these days. And usually when he gets hot, he gets hot. And I think this is going to be a good week for him. He has a win here already. I think the last few races here, he's been really good. So think about Christopher Bell. And okay, now, and here's another one. And hear me out. As I think this could be the week where Bubba Wallace turns it around. The last 2 times here, he finished top 10. Well, top 5. One was top 5, the other one was top 10. So he's another one that the hour is growing late for the 23. And he's got to figure this out because you know what? The playoffs are going to be here before you know it. And we have people that are, we have winners, but we have points people. And we could have there's still enough races to have somebody come out of the blue and win and get into the playoffs and knock him right out. So he really needs to put on a show this weekend. And bonus points if he can take that lobster and put it in Denny's face. And my honorable mention, I guess I'll waste no, I don't mean waste it, but Kyle Busch is always an interesting honorable mention because he has 3 wins here and 16 top 10s. And, the last 4 years he's been on a rotted streak here. But before that, he was always really good. So, and I know he's very frustrated. So if he can hold himself together and not run into anybody or get mad at anybody and just do his thing, he may have a chance for a win on Sunday. So let me recap my picks for the USA Today 301 and New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And my brilliant picks are Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, and Martin Truex Jr. And my bold picks are Bubba Wallace, Brad Keselowski, and Christopher Bell. And honorable mention goes out to Kyle Busch. So that is what I'm saying. I hope you enjoy the race on Sunday because those are my NASCAR fantasy picks and I'm sticking to them.
Interact with Holly's Racing Fantasy on YouTube or Facebook. Just search Holly's Racing Fantasy on each to find us. And don't forget to tell us who you like and why every Wednesday before each race. You can comment on the current HRF episode on YouTube or reply to my Monday night post on Facebook. Thanks.
Okay, you know what? I think that's it. I think that's all I've got. Let me give you a little bit of the weekend schedule. They do have the on Friday night, we've got Xfinity practice and qualifying. That's 4:05 p.m. and 4:35 respectively on USA. And then on Saturday afternoon, the Cup Series practice is at 12:35 p.m. and qualifying is at 1:20 p.m. So if I run errands Saturday morning, I need to make sure I'm home by noon. Those will both be on USA, and that's Eastern Standard Times. The Xfinity race is Saturday at 3:30 p.m. and that's on USA. And then there's a modified race, but that's not on TV that I can see. And then you got your Cup Series on Sunday. So that's the races. Them's the races. Willie Mays died this week. That was, man, talk about a legend. The legends are passing. Because you know what, folks? We're all getting old, and the legends are getting old, and there aren't any legends coming around to replace them. So it's kind of a bummer. You know what? My show is coming in here at 22 minutes. So these shows are really short, and I'm sorry. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know. I guess it's good because it gets you in and out, and you're out the door, and you don't have to waste any more time listening to me. But I guess it's kind of wonky because it's weird. But maybe I'll make up for it next week if John can somehow find a way to join in for next week's race. Again, I appreciate the thoughts. Scott Curlis 4893 gave us some really nice support on YouTube, and I appreciate that. God bless. Everybody's going through something. You know what I mean? It's not a joke. Everybody if you weren't going through something, then someone you know and love is going through something really rotten too. And I do want to say a couple of several episodes back, I had mentioned a friend of mine, his name is Peter, who was going through his own cancer battle. And unfortunately, Peter lost his battle this week on Father's Day. God bless him. He was 50 years old. I'd known him since he was 15, maybe. I threw a 17th birthday party for him. I had an apartment through this big, that was the early 90s. So time was different. Threw a big rockin' party for Pete's 17th birthday. Good Lord. We were kids. We were crazy in the 90s. This generation that I'm part of is nuts. But, so God bless him. But I do, It's all right. There are plenty of other people who are fighting battles, and they're people. You don't ever know. You win, you lose. God bless everybody who's going through something, because life is hard. Life is hard, and I pray for all of you. So I want to say, have a good week, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Be nice. Don't drive people crazy. Take time to just listen to the birds, listen to the wind, listen to the ocean. Just relax, have a glass of wine. And I'll see you back here next week. And we'll talk more racing. And you know what? Be good and race on.